Welcome to a demonstration of Aucotec's diagram generator. I'm showing how to import a wiring definition list from Excel into Engineering Base. The electrologic import can create the whole project structure, including electrical components, other devices, units, and the whole definition of the project. All these green lines indicate that these objects will be created through the import. If the wiring definition list contains harness definitions, the electrologic import will automatically trigger the start of the manufacturing import assistant, which can be used for importing the harnesses individually. In the background here we see a list of various harnesses which can individually be imported until the project is complete. In the tree we can now see the complete definition of the project, including harnesses and units. The harnesses contain connectors and cables. Units will carry the devices, which we can now use for drawing creation. I am now starting the automatic drawing creation by selecting the devices and having a sheet created. The devices will be placed according to predefined coordinates on the sheet. We can rearrange the order of the sheets in the drawings and open the Visio sheet, where we press Ctrl A and start the diagram generation. I'll choose Draw Cable to have a cable diagram drawn. In the preview, we can see the devices, the connectors, and we can see how the cables will be drawn on the sheet. The diagram generator has now completed the drawing. It has placed the connectors, the cables, and drawn lines for showing where the cables lie. In the settings of the diagram generator, we can choose which symbols are to be taken for which object type. For example, the connectors, which show their names here on the drawing. As the cable diagram has been completed, we will now have the diagram generator draw a wiring diagram. For the wiring diagram, I will create a sheet manually. By selecting the devices and dragging them onto the sheet using the right mouse button, Engineering Base automatically places predefined standard symbols for the type of the object. They basically know what they normally look like. Then I'm placing them roughly the way I want to have them on my drawing later. Hit Ctrl A and start the wiring diagram drawing part of the diagram generator. The list now shows me the wires, and we see the preview again. Let's zoom in and take some action, reorganizing the drawing before it is drawn. We can now watch how the drawing is being created. The diagram generator places the connectors, the cavities, connects them, and places the wiring symbols along with the cable symbols. The size of the cable symbol and shield symbol will always adapt to the number of wires in the cable. The predefined device symbol did not know how many connectors it will be connected to, so we can adjust it after we have placed the connectors. We can now see the completed wiring diagram with cables, wires, shields, and some details. Let us focus on the order of these connections before we continue. I will now begin the second import of the second wiring list, the version 2. It contains an updated harness with a couple of differences in the details. The import is finished now, and we want to check which impact it might have on any of our existing drawings. So we start the diagram check. The result of the check is that one of our sheets have been changed, and it requires an update. Let's check the message section to find the affected sheet. We can use the messages for navigating to the affected sheets. We can simply restart the diagram generator on the affected sheet, and it will show us the changes it has found between the alphanumeric definition and the graphical representations. The graphical preview shows us that one connector has been affected and everything else can stay the way it is. This particular connector now has been changed in the order of the wiring. Some more examples. A rough layout can easily be turned into a structured drawing. By repositioning the perpendicular bends, and holding the Shift key, which enables us to change the connector sides on the devices. Now, using all these tools, we can easily see that a complete drawing can be restructured and made to fit its purpose. I would like to point out the complex shielding situation and the automatic rearrangement of the cabling. Another interesting detail is the multiply connecting of wires to one cavity. And last but not least, here an example of how a splice could be placed through the diagram generator. Thank you for your interest in Aucotec's diagram generator.
Aucotec. To learn more, contact us at aucotec.com and let us get you started on a truly incredible process innovation.